Violet green is the I'm a player on the late night tip. So these the prototype. Fingertips, reservoir dog, to the skull, ignorant. Can I live? Still film it, kiss the death, ripper take your neck. Three boys in the Cadillac, grave digger, kiss the death, ripper take your neck. Shame on the three boys in the Cadillac, grave digger.
Money over on my headstone. Here lies young, getting paid, but never take a loss on my install. Only take a when I'm dead, I'm a gang.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports.
We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, it's a black and blue matchup in the NFC North between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On third and long, it's Rodgers. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. Fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. At a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverage.
There he goes, Amari Cooper. Touchdown, Vikings. Amari Cooper, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, we get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball, all right? When guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, people going, wow, what a phenom. Then they get tape on them, they get scouting reports, they start to do different things. Let's see if he's going to adapt and expand his game in order to keep up that type of production.
That's a good call because he's a known entity. See how they defend him going forward. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now McKinnon. And an alley to run. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving him a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Day flush to his right. Jordan Reed has it, and he's going to get this inside the 30. His first catch, good for 14 there, and a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. To throw on 2nd is Simeon. And he whips that one incomplete there. He was trying to get it to Jerick McKinnon there. And now it's 3rd down.
Now we've got 3rd and goal coming up, and can you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Amari Cooper with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2nd down, Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA and playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32, and now he spins free. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And out will come the offense as they take over. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. He'll get 4 yards on the carry there, and we will get to the end of the first quarter. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Here's McKinnon. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Back to throw, Simeon. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And Green Bay getting... ready to go as they take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points.
David Johnson on his way past the 20. A big run there by Johnson. 68 yards on the ground. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now, because is he rewarding himself for a great run, or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
3/19 and on it.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And it's a touchdown for the Packers. Well, that That was a quick hitter drive. They had the huge play to get him down near the goal line, and then they run it in. I don't know that the defense ever had a chance to catch their breath.
A lot of the time now when we see people hit big plays, and each team defines a big play their own way, 10, 15-yard gains. In this case, it was a huge gain. They often want to hurry up and go right away. Keep the momentum going, hit them again, and I think we just saw that there. The second play resulted in pay dirt.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, Momentum, might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe Momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
And now let's look at David Johnson. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for them.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
58.
Rodgers on third down. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now they can't bring him down. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Now McKinnon to start the drive. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They run it with McKinnon. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Simeon. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 14 yards there and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
McKinnon. 34 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now a give to the big fullback Juszczyk. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
His pass caught at the 4. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of...
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Walsh. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. Now a handoff, Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it's going to be third down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Rodgers. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll run it here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent game,
Still
but all
first
for
down.
naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. A good productive run there on 1st down. He winds up getting 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. So after the run by McKinnon, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Flushed out right. He finds McKinnon, complete. And he gets it down to the 32. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Vontaze Burfict, the one to get him down. Simeon on 3rd down. Cooper's got it. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Play action. It's Simeon. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. That'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Out of the gun, Simeon. Forced out to his left. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess you have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Throwing again is Simeon. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. So on 4th down, the Vikings send out Blair Walsh to try the field goal here. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
That number 38 got some huge legs, man.
Snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Joker looked deformed out there.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the...
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here again is McCannon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Has had a big day. No one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive, and when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. If they needed a break, they needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
This is complete to Watkins on the slant. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Rodgers again now. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. In for the score. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Jerick McKinnon now to return. And a good effort on a return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you got it going, and you also think, at any moment, I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On the quick handoff, it's Juszczyk. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, after that pickup of a 1st down, I think some of the defensive guys are going to be looking over their coordinator and saying that was not in the scouting report. That went against every tendency most teams have. You don't usually hand the ball to your big guy in that situation. Sometimes you catch them by surprise.
Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
And he fires one, but incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball to cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead.
A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Back now at Lambeau. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Here's Simeon. And this is a rocket pulled in by Cooper, complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Out to the left here to Reed. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating.
Hold on to the ball. Hold on to the ball. Don't fumble.
Back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
They run once more with McKinnon. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. So they need 6 yards here on third down. They're 2 for 2 on third down tries so far on this drive.
Yeah. Yes.
And the play clock becoming an issue, so Mike Zimmer's forced to call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. A shotgun snap for Simeon. And that's complete. It's the Carter-Cooper connection. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this
Look at
thing
that
off.
nigga legs,
Still
boy.
ate up time, got points, so that's not mission accomplished. It's darn close.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's
Come on, man. I'm all in that play.
So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Give me that.
And a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations. Trying to
He broke his collarbone.
Most of the time, it's
all right, bro. Stone. It's your shot, Stone.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And they'll go on the ground. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a third one.
Yeah, now from this spot on third down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe.